This is the Schneps Media Cannabis Industry Power Players Edition. We are with Elizabeth Kase. She is co-chair of the cannabis practice at Ruskin Moscou Faltischek on Long Island. So Elizabeth, you're an expert when it comes to this MRTA law, the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act. And let's hear your thoughts on this.
Well, I'd like to start by saying I'm not necessarily an expert, and I don't know how many people can proclaim to be because this law is less than a year old. But I will tell you, I've read it several times, and it's very nuanced and it's very open-ended. So until we see regulations, which we're hoping will be promulgated and released sometime in early 22, the way MRTA reads, it's a treatise. It's really a referendum on the past criminalization of cannabis and those that were adversely affected historically. It's an answer to the antiquated Rockefeller drug laws that had, really this disproportionate result for people of color, where they would be stopped, frisked, arrested, prosecuted, jailed, for matters that were really ridiculously small in comparison. And certainly there was a disproportionate impact of those laws for people who were not prosecuted by their skin tone. So MRTA goes to remedy past wrongs, but it also looks to really open the marketplace in such a progressive nature, allotting 50% of the intended licenses for people who are in the social equity category. I think this is really a fascinating, nuanced New York provision. And let's hope that it is actually implemented with the spirit and intention that MRTA, proclaims it to be.
Right. So because cannabis is now legal as of March 2021, this means per this law that anyone arrested for possession would now, their records would be expunged.
So what it really means too is that people aren't going to be arrested. And if you walk down the streets of New York now, and a lot of people are talking about this, cannabis is everywhere and there is no enforcement. So Elizabeth,
I've seen people selling bags of weed outside of Penn Station, like as if they're scarves.
And sale is still illegal because it is not being sold through a licensed vendor. So you're in this gray period, right? Where the black market still exists. There is this intention for everything to be legalized and it to be regulated by the state. They've passed all of the laws that indicate that it has been decriminalized. However, there is no place for a recreational adult user to go in and purchase cannabis. So you're seeing these pop-up shops and people on the street corners essentially doing what they've been doing forever and now getting away with it. And it's pretty fascinating. As a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, I am just, it's like, so, anyhow, certainly you can still be prosecuted for marijuana related crimes, but the levels have changed. Whereas people could really be prosecuted for dime bags and for possession of a joint on the street, none of that is real anymore. You can have substantial amounts, up to 3 ounces possession without being prosecuted. That's quite a lot. So things are really changed culturally. And as we move from March of 2021 into, sort of this in-between year where we're expecting regulations and there should be applications, and we're thinking brick and mortar adult use stores will be open, hopefully before the end of 22, but most likely the beginning of 23. What you're seeing is this gray zone, and it's playing out literally on every corner. That's not the intention of MRTA, but that's the initial result of MRTA.
So what are you working on now with clients or legislatively as we go into this year in this gray area? I know that the rules and regs are forthcoming, but what's the focus?
Well, I'm just so thrilled and lucky to be working with such a terrific team at my law firm. We have many clients who are on the precipice of making these applications whenever the regulations are published. So we're getting them ready. And we can, anticipate what the regulations will look like based upon, of course, prior regulations relating to medical cannabis in New York, and of course, all of our other neighboring states and nationwide, looking at what adult use programs exist and sort of weaving together our own speculation and purposeful speculation. It's an educated guess as to how New York will look. And so there's no time like the present. People were engaging attorneys as soon as MRTA passed, if not before, to get ready for the expectation of what will be coming.
Okay, so it's pretty open-ended, it sounds like.
It is open-ended. My clients are I have social equity applicants, I have cultivators, I have micro business applicants, I have processing applicants, those who want to do distribution, and of course, retail as well. So, everything in between. And it's just amazing to watch the creativity and really the hope that this program again will deliver what it intends.
Okay, so we look forward to hearing what comes next. Elizabeth Kase, congratulations on being named one of the cannabis industry power leaders by Schneps Media.
I'm so glad to be here, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Great to see you.